gameplay?
We should get instant gameplay.
Should I get instant gameplay? We've
think
had it
so.
like hovering in the corner
Yeah,
here
yeah.
on the pause menu for this, like sort of above my head. All right, so this is what's called mission 4, and we can only show 5 minutes of this, so I'm gonna have to go really, really quickly. Start the timer now, everyone, and we'll see how well I can do. I've been practicing. One of the things that you'll see here is right away Xiaoyun's rope dart. And if you're wondering why those guys below me didn't notice, it's because they're talking to each other. When they're talking to each other, you can't really, they're kind of oblivious to what's going on around them. But if they're not talking to each other, you'll see they have these little cones of like obviousness, and that was a challenging part there for me to get through, because these guys, they'll turn around. You'll notice that over the guards' heads, when they're going to turn around, you'll see that little eyeball appear above their head, and that lets you know that they're going to be turning around. So if you need to make a move or something like that, that would be the time to do it. I'm not going to do it now, though, because that guy's just turning around.
Now's a good time. There you go.
I think it's very important to note that like you can play it's an Assassin's Creed game, right? So a lot of the things that you're used to in Assassin's Creed, a lot of those pillars have been translated into this 2.5D style. You can play it combat-wise if you want. You can go in and try and kill everybody, but there is a premium placed on stealth. As you can see here, because of course there's a lot of that awareness. You have tools, as you're going to see very shortly. Gabe's going to use one of the tools to be able to distract.
Right
yeah, it's going to distract people. So there's whistling.
It's nice that you can control the strength of the whistle, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, and of course because of
this guy I have to kill.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was, and that's why I get Assassin's Gold or Assassin Gold for that segment of the mission.
So yeah, talk about the different tiers that you can get.
Yeah, so if you kill somebody right away, then you're going to get Assassin. You're going to get Assassin, and then depending on the number of times that you were spotted, it will go gold, silver, or bronze. But if you don't kill anyone, you could potentially get
Shadow.
Shadow, yes, which is the most coveted of the. Oh, he saw me!
Oh,
He saw me.
No shadow for you.
But it's possible that he won't notice that I'm there.
Mistakes were almost made.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a mistake. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that.
So it's kind of a bit like the.
Oh, he saw me again.
Oh no!
All right, I'm gonna have to kill him. Oh, he shot me.
That's gonna hurt.
All right.
So yeah, it's you notice that with the fighting style that Xiaoyun has. Those of you who know your lore know that she was trained in a style similar to Wushu, with some Brotherhood infused techniques. But one thing I particularly like. Oh dear! Oh dear!
Now
it's challenging.
Yeah, no, it's definitely super hard. At least to get Shadow, anyways, it is.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to go into combat.
Yeah, you take on 1 or 2 guys, but beyond that,
yeah.
And you need to be, you need to get your timing spot on to even beat a couple of guys.
Yeah.
And as you say, you summed it up perfectly. There is a premium on stealth. There's a premium on, and if not shadow style, then that assassin style of killing from the shadows.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you front up like this, then you're gonna.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
You're gonna
I know.
Those guys are tough.
Yeah, no, that guy has a shield.
Gabe's doing a great job of demonstrating it. Yeah, thanks.
So there you go. Like fans who like their Assassin's Creed games tough, this is right up your alley.
Yeah,
but what I was saying was that it's similar in the grading system to Splinter Cell. You know how you could go in the Panther style, or you could go in Ghost, or you could So depending on how you want to play, you have that option. But as you can see, you probably don't want to be alerting too many people. Like that guy who's going to throw a shuriken at you. That's a perfect
that
way.
One got me.
Oh no.
Oh,
no! It's not going well.
I've totally done this before.
Come on,
I've
man.
totally done this before.
Well, talking and playing at the same time is hard, man. Just concentrate. Just concentrate, Gabe. We'll do the talking.
He can't see me because
that little move that you did was a really good way to illustrate the sort of like the depth, right, in the 2.5D. You have the different planes that you can go in or out of, almost of the screen, as it were.
There we go.
There you go. You got it.
All right. Yes, see, this time, everything's going according to plan.
Aha.
There we go. See?
Master Assassin at work.
It's way easier when I'm
Now, look, you could... There you go.
I could kill him, but no.
No, well, I was going to suggest maybe using the firecrackers. Do you have those yet?
Oh, I do. I actually have quite a few tools.
Yeah, you've got the tools in the bottom left-hand corner, right there. So those ones you have selected are firecrackers. You have the whistle at the top.
Silver, because they noticed me so many times.
It's all good.
But I'm gonna sync really quick because that will show me everything that's on the map here.
That's actually good that you show this because again, a lot of the icons and stuff that you see, a lot of the processes that you go through, it's an Assassin's Creed game. You synchronize with the map, you get to see more of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and you can see too that I skipped a bunch of things here too. Like I skipped some little animus fragments. I skipped like a secondary mission objective. Like in the interest of getting through here really quickly, because unfortunately now it's been 5 minutes, so I'll go ahead and do my leap of faith, and then we'll have to move on to another part of the live stream. But there you go. That was mission 4, and that was just 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
It's actually much longer. I was only like maybe a quarter of the way through the mission, not even, right?
Yeah,
Like that was
not
like
even,
2
yeah.
checkpoints, and there's quite a few checkpoints in that mission.
Yeah.
So
And the complexity gets progressively tougher because you'll have like intersecting cones of vision and stuff, and people who like only go and check on one patrol, and it gets really exciting. And
that's when you have to manipulate the enemies. That's when you have to use the tools, throw firecrackers to make them go off in different directions, hit the wind chimes with a projectile to cause a distraction in another way. So there's a bunch of different ways you can manipulate your enemies to make a path for yourself through. And those later levels, you're going to have to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to get into a fight.
That's true.
And desync,
Very
Gabe
true.
style.
Game style. Hashtag game style. That's now a thing. Coined by Carsten. There's a nice little white room there.
yeah.
And do you know that is in the background there?
Who is that?
I don't,
that is-
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That is a particular
Little
man
secret
with
tidbits.
particular
Little secret
skills.
tidbits.
Is that that probably is a major spoiler, but you know,
Yeah, it is.
maybe people will
this
lose.
is the, yeah.
You have to. All right, there you go.
Yeah, he's teaching me how to do these moves, which I have to do before I can begin the 5th level. But I think what we're supposed to do right now is go ahead and watch the trailer. We're going to go ahead and see if we can pick out some spots that you might have missed here.
Yeah, cool. All right, so the trailer went live yesterday. Those of you who saw the press coverage will have seen the trailer. But so yeah, we're gonna go through the trailer and then various points we're gonna pause. So one thing that we noticed to start, we're gonna pause here. And one thing that we noticed obviously was the date and obviously the setting of the first chronicle, which was China 1526. Now, those of you who know your history, this isn't going to be anything new. Those of you who don't know your history, this is a chance to learn a little bit about it. And that was at the time the Ming Dynasty was beginning to crumble. Now, the Ming Dynasty was obviously the ruling dynasty of China for like 276 years.
Was it?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It was.
Long time.
Yeah, I know. It was one of the biggest dynasties at the time, and they rose to power after another dynasty had gone out. So you know how it worked. It was come in, conquer, move on, and so the Ming Dynasty was pretty huge at the time. Apparently regarded as one of the greatest eras of orderly government and social stability in human history.
Wow.
Like, so it was. I mean, I when I was doing my research, I did note that at the time, that was when the Great Wall of China really started taking shape, because they weren't really about going to attack people. They thought they'd just wall themselves in and defend against the Mongols. So they started fortifying the wall along the...
They're like, this is China, this is good.
You stay out.
This is good, we got this, area is ours.
So that's when a lot of progress was made on the Great Wall. And apparently, one other tidbit, they were the last dynasty in China that were ruled by the ethnic Han Chinese. So there you go.
Fascinating.
There we go. So if we play along, so you see the rope dart there. One thing you note about the rope dart, we'll pause here a second. One thing about the rope dart, as you've seen, you use it mainly for traversal. It has some offensive properties as well, and maybe we'll get to see it in the mission Gabe's doing. I doubt it, but you could hang on a ledge and use it to get some discrete kills by a ledge, right?
You won't see that in this mission,
won't see that in that
unfortunately.
mission.
The next mission that we play is what's called a flow mission.
Okay.
So it's timed. You have to go through very quickly, and you can't stop. So we do have some. You can see a little bit of it in the trailer.
Yeah.
But we'll give you a full run through in a little while, and it will take me just about 5 minutes if I don't totally screw it up again. To get through that mission in particular.
We'll make sure not to distract you at that point.
Just concentrate.
But that's the thing with Chronicles. So again, as part of the coverage that was put out yesterday, like each assassin is going to have a hidden blade or a variation of hidden blades, because I know Xiao Yun had needles as opposed to hidden blades. Those of you who watched Embers will know that. But they also have ranged weapons. And so in Xiao Jun's case, she has the shurikens, which she actually uses for distraction as well. Abazmir has the chakram. Nikolai Orlov has his rifle, the iconic rifle you always see him with. Yeah. But the rope dart also doubles up to be used at range in certain instances. So if we carry on playing, we're going to pause again a little bit there. You can see that stance that she's in. As we mentioned before, her fighting style is based on wushu. When she was learning and training with the Brotherhood, that was what she started in. And then there were a few Brotherhood-specific techniques that were infused in. But that's what she trained in. So that's how she's so fluid. And anyone who's a martial arts practitioner knows about wushu. It's the basis for a lot of.
So I don't know if there are any cosplayers who are viewing that might want to cosplay as Xiao Yun, but if you want to do a little bit of research, maybe make sure that you have authentic stances. That's wushu. You can look it up.
Yep, there you go. So if we carry on playing, there's one bit that's going to come on later that I'm particularly interested in.
Oh yes,
so
this part
yes,
here
we pause here because obviously this is now the Indian Chronicle that was revealed, and 1841. So that was about the time of the First Anglo-Sikh War, and that was really the Sikh Empire taking on the East India Company. That were big deal at the time.
It was about that time. It's not precisely that time,
but that was when the fires were starting.
Exactly. That's the good way to put it.
Yeah.
Which is always where it always seems like that's where the Assassin and Templar clashes happen. It's not so much the event itself. It's like the times just before and just after. That's when they're like scurrying around like
political machinations are happening. The secret war taking place. So yeah, if we carry on playing, so that's around the time that it's set. Those of you who've read Brahman would know about Abazmir, and you'll see that so we pause there. That little sliding tackle animation, if you've played Assassin's Creed, you'll be used to that, especially if you've just recently played Unity, you'll have seen Arno have a variation of that. But he stops in motion. A lot of the Assassins in Chronicles will have a fluid motion, they'll carry on. And so it's efficiency of movement, right? He's going to slide, he's going to tackle the person, and use his sword to kill them and carry on running like nothing happened.
In a painful way.
Yeah, very.
Yes.
The pointy end.
Yeah, the assassinations in this game are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They're
But they work very well with the 2.5D art style, right? Because it's like it's emphasized and stylized, which is actually when we play on, we're going to see a particular thing. We'll pause here. So you see, again, I talked about the heavy attacks. When you see Xiao Jun's heavy attacks, it's a black sort of ink. You see his, and he has like those patterns and stuff when he does the heavy attack with his
Paisleys.
Yeah, Paisley. Oh, thank you. I was trying to figure out what it was, and
yeah, no, it's a very like prevalent theme. If you like in watching the trailer, you can see like one of the main underlying themes I think for Brahman is this like Paisley pattern that's very common.
I don't know if it was called Paisley back then, but
Probably not.
That's like I don't know. I mean, that's one for the art director, but no, it's like a rosette kind of style. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the artist either.
See, I'm used to like
But Paisley's great. You know,
my parents were children of the 70s.
That's right.
So it's
Like,
Paisley.
I remember trying on my dad's Paisley ties and stuff as a kid. Remember that? Yeah.
fun facts about Carsten.
More Paisley. Bring it back. We're doing our bit.
I'll wear Paisley tie in the next
So
one.
back to the trailer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And we pause at this point because, of course, a lot of our fans really like Nikolai Orlov. Of course, he got 2 comic books. So Russia, 1918. Again, this was right after Red October, and we're not talking about the submarine. We're talking about the October Revolution that took place, and that was about the time when the Bolsheviks, I believe that's the group that took power from the government in power at the time. Some interesting tidbits. Those of you who know about the fall in the chain, the Bolsheviks were led by Lenin. He was a friend of the assassins. He wasn't actually an assassin, and he gets in touch with Nikolai Orlov specifically because he needs him to go and take out one of the Tsars at the time, and that sets up some of the events of the fall. And so,
I think, like there that actually appears in the fall.
No,
like,
it
that
definitely-
scene
yeah.
is in the fall. He reads the letter from Lenin,
Yeah.
and is like, all right, well, I guess I have
Yeah.
to go do this.
Yeah, Lenin's brother was actually an assassin.
Oh wow, okay.
That's it. So there you go.
Ah.
So that's why he was a friend to the assassins, and he needed him to take out that Tsar to help, kickstart that revolution that that was being set up. And so a lot of the events of Chronicles Russia would take place in the little bit between the end of his last mission here and before he sets off, and then the events of the chain. So it nicely fills in the gap between those two comic books.
It seems like quite a bit of time, honestly. Like I remember when I started reading the chain, I was just like, wow, well, I missed the whole time when Nikolai was an assassin. We just get a view of it from the fall, and then the chain. He's like an old man, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it'll be good to have that fill in.
Definitely. So if we carry on playing, you'll see some of the art style, and of course you'll see that it's different mainly in terms of his robes, because you're used to seeing him in the white robes when he's in like a snowy environment. That worked. Now he's in black robes to blend in more. And one thing, if we pause here, one thing that we did see was him using the rifle. So like it's important to know he's considerably bigger than both Xiao Yun and Basmir, probably combined actually. So he's more about the physicality. We saw him snapping a guy's neck after he's punched him in the back, but we also saw him using the rifle at range. So that's Nikolai for you right there.
Traditional
so
Nikolai weapon.
if we carry on playing, we'll just see a few
Now
more
we just
things
get
here.
the
Here we go.
montage.
We see
That
we
was the
see
rope
her
dart
using
kill.
the rope dart
Yeah.
at the ledge, and we see Basmir showing off his combat skills,
Oh my gosh, just slicing people up.
just slicing people up. On this, so we pause right there. That's one thing I really wanted to highlight, because Xiao Jun has some excellent reflexes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
actually, Gabe, you can mention that because you've played a little bit more of it than I have.
Oh, because
so
I have such excellent reflexes, as demonstrated earlier in the stream. Yes, no, but one of the things Xiao Yun can do is she can actually dodge projectiles. That's highlighted in the gameplay as the enemy will line up their shot, and you can see just the faintest hint of like them taking aim, and then when it becomes a line, it turns red, and that's when you have to press the dodge button, and she'll just move like just slightly out of the
It's
way.
hard to do, but when you pull it off, it's super satisfying.
Oh, it looks so good too, because she just dodged a bullet. Like, literally dodged a bullet.
And if you're really good, it will look like it does in the trailer when we play it. She's gonna dodge the attack and then counterattack and kill the person.
Yeah, it's pretty
Fantastic.
intense. It's pretty intense.
Also, Xiao Jun, as those of you who know, has the shoe blade, which is excellent. it's
And all the traditional assassin's moves that
Yeah.
you're used to are there, like killing from the haystack and stuff like that. Like you saw as we ended the first gameplay session with the leap of faith. A bunch of that stuff is in there, of course, because we want to stay true to the universe.
Yeah.
Even in the 2.5D
yeah.
like environment, there are a lot of like ways that we can
Yeah.
manipulate that, right?
And that last scene, you see the journey starts April 21st. So of course we can once again reiterate that for Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, the release date is April 21st in the US and April 22nd in EMEA territories. And it's for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yes, it is.
There you go. So that was Rewind Theater.
So now I will pick up the controller again.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
You're gonna do
this
the
one.
flow
This one
mission.
is. I actually really like this particular level because it's a flow one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come right out of the pause menu and just run. Because in this level, the objective is to proceed through the level as quickly as you can, and you aren't graded on how much you're being noticed. You aren't graded on whether or not you're getting kills. It's just time limit. So as soon as I leave the pause menu, I'm gonna be timed. So I have to have complete focus in order to make it through the level. All right, are we ready? All right,
You
here
think
we
he's
go.
going to do it?
He'll be good.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
No mistakes.
Mistakes were made.
The Brotherhood is watching.
Well, see here, that's on fire. I gotta go backwards this
Yeah.
way. And you can see here the 2.5D as I cross these little things. I'm actually moving like kind of in parallax, as they
Yeah.
call it. It's handled really well.
Yeah, that's actually.
Whoa.
Oh, that was so good. It was so good, and that's
I was
actually
worried.
something we talked about with the art director Glenn Brace. We were lucky enough to have some of his time, and you'll see some of that at some point next week. We were able to talk to him about this art style and the way the parallax is being used and stuff, and how they were able to get all of the pillars of Assassin's Creed into a 2.5 iteration. We were also lucky enough to talk to the lead designer at Climax Studios, Matt Duff. And so you will hear that in the form of a podcast at some point next week as well. You know, he was awesome to talk to. Talked a little bit about the development of the game and the challenges that they faced and overcame, and how great an opportunity it was. Game's doing really well because he doesn't have to talk. Don't drop into the fire. There you go.
Oh, he's gonna jump back.
Could have been
Oh,
more.
he got me that time.
Could have been more efficient.
Oh, two.
Could have been.
Oh, good
Oh,
block.
nice
Oh.
block. Nice block. Look at that. There you
Oh,
go.
that's how that's supposed
That's
to be done.
it. I foresee a lot of speedrun videos on YouTube with these flow missions.
Oh, for sure.
People shaving off seconds trying to get the fastest time. I'm looking forward to seeing how the community takes to that. You're doing well. You're doing well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Oh no, the fire, the fire, the fire. And then,
Oh, look at that explosion. That guy jumped into the water. He's like, I don't want any of this.
none of this for me. No, thank you. Ah.
Cool.
Oh God, this is nerve-wracking.
You got this.
Yeah,
You
no.
got this.
It's so
How
good.
are you
though.
on the flow missions, Carsten?
Honestly, I'm not as good as Gabe.
Oh, look at
Ah.
that. Love it.
That's assassin style. Just like,
But that doesn't stop me teasing him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we do all the time.
You know.
look at these little guys
Oh,
at the
good
boat.
balance.
They're safe. I'm glad they're safe. They're okay.
Yeah, it's good that you don't have to. Oh, this guy is you got him. He never saw it coming.
Hey, no thang, that guy.
Never saw it coming. There you go.
Yep.
What
Yep.
would you say? You're gonna do this in 5 minutes easily.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Did you see that guy? He's going, don't come this way.
He's right. Do not come that way. Oh my gosh. This is very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
It's nice how the red paint
It
guides
is.
you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Those clues, the further you move on through the game, they become less and less obvious.
All
You know,
right,
you're
okay.
more inclined to, or more influence to make your own path.
Yeah. You make, yeah. Yeah, because you see the little bird.
It becomes more and more subtle as the story progresses.
This is
How
just-
big is this harbor?
It's a big harbour.
It's
Yeah.
so big. It's so
It's a very
huge.
famous harbour.
Oh, look at that aerial assassination. Look at it.
Right in the head, my friend. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Don't get wet.
Oh,
Oh dear. There
It's
it is.
okay.
The
I just
pressure.
made it to the checkpoint.
The
We
pressure.
get, yeah,
checkpoint.
you get to see the good checkpoints that we have in the game.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, checkpoint system.
And here comes the
All right.
sliding assassination again.
Bop. And then this one's cool because you just press
Oh,
up and she
look at
does the
that.
rope dart swing. Oh no, thing's on
I
fire.
love that.
again.
Even
The
more
ship's
so
going
than
down, look at that.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
it's the little thing, little bits that you notice, right? I love the fact that even more so than running into the depth, it's using the rope dart to swing into the depth, right?
Yeah. I almost didn't see that guy because things were exploding. That was crazy. That whole ship blew up. You
Oh
guys.
no,
Oh.
it's gonna get hot. Better run.
Oh my gosh.
Even the explosions are pretty.
Yeah. And the fire too. Would you look at that fire?
Nope, do not want.
Cha! And leap of faith.
Great going,
Into the
Gabe.
sea.
That was fantastic.
Oh my
Nicely
gosh.
done.
Thank you. I did mess up one time.
Only one.